until you do, Lord. And we're here in one place, and we're lifting one voice. Oh God, with great expectation. Let your kingdom come. Let your will, let it be done. Come do what you wanna do right here in this room, God. We give all the full pursuit, God, of your goodness and your glory, Lord God. We want more. Oh, God, yes, we want more. We can't make it without you, Lord. We want more. Hey, yes, we want more. Oh, we need you. We want more. We need more of your Father. Yeah. Come pour it out. Oh, yeah. Come pour it out, Lord. Our hearts are open. Come pour it out, Lord. We cry. Come pour it out, Jesus. Our hearts are open, Lord. Our storage is empty.
All right, Omega Radio listeners, happy Saturday to all of you out there. Listen, right about now, we're going to go ahead and get tuned into the Youth Truth Show right here on Omega Radio with yours truly, Authencia Manning, as your host for this program. So I do hope that you're having a great weekend so far. I hope you're having a good Saturday and you're enjoying your day. And of course, if you are a youth, if you're a young person, listen, right about now, I want you to stop what you're doing. If you're driving, keep driving, drive safely. But I want you to tune in. I want you to stay locked in. I want you to tune in. I want you to get connected with the word that's going on here today for the Youth Truth Show. So today we're going to go ahead and jump into things. We were just listening to a song there. This is We Want More by Bree Babineau. But we're going to go ahead and jump into today's topic, right? We're going to jump right into things. And recently, what we have been discussing, what we have been talking about on the Youth Truth program as we have started this year, right? What we have been talking about is our dreams, our visions, and our purpose. And these things all connect. And sometimes people, think that, your visions and your dreams are the same thing. They're not always the same thing. There is a difference. So your visions and your dreams are two different things. So we're going to go a little bit more in depth with talking about our visions, our dreams, and our purpose and how it all connects, right? So as I've already stated in a previous program, I have stated that for this year, my goal as a youth minister, as a minister, period, is really just to focus on not really just with young people, but although my focus group is young people with youth, is really just to focus on walking in our purpose. How can we achieve our dreams? How can we achieve our goals? How can we achieve, the visions that God gave us? How can we walk in authority and do what God is calling us to do? And how can we do it with boldness? With the type of boldness that where we're not afraid, we don't have doubt, we're not dealing with fear. We're good, we're confident, we're strong enough to, equipped. We believe that we're strong enough. We believe that we're equipped enough to do what we are being called to do. So let's go ahead and jump into things, right? So as I mentioned before, we've talked about how we've talked about our gifts and how those things connect to our visions, to our dreams, to our purpose. And we're going to go back onto that today. So let's start with our gifts. So the Bible tells us that our gifts will make room for us. And what that means basically is that your gifts will provide for you. Your gifts will make a way for you. Why? Because these are gifts that were given to you from God. So you have the ability to sing. You have the ability to write. You have the ability to speak. You have the ability to do whatever. God gave you that gift. And we may not look at it as a gift. We'll just look at it and say, oh, well, I can sing. So that's that. I can speak. So that's that. I can write. So that's that. And it's not that's that. There's more to it because it was something given to you by God in order for you to use it. And so today, I want to kind of just stress on that a little bit, that when it comes to your dreams, when it comes to your visions, when it comes to your purpose, you got to use the things that God gave you, because God told us in his word that he's equipped us with what we need. So, and we've spoken once before on the Youth Truth Show about how we are equipped to conquer. So how we are equipped to handle everything that we face in this world, because as we already know, the Bible tells us that we live in this world, but we are not of this world. And because we are not of this world, we can't be beat down and destroyed by things of this world, because we are not of this world, but we live in it. So can we be tempted? Yes. Can we be tested? Yes. Can we be tried and distracted by the things of this world? Absolutely. However, at the same time, God has already equipped us with everything that we need to conquer, to overcome the things of this world. And something that I love that I've been hearing and seeing a lot lately is that, if Jesus came and he overcame the world, how is it that, we're telling ourselves that we can't overcome the world? Jesus came and Jesus was tempted. Jesus was tempted by Satan. He was tested, but he overcame that. He overcame that temptation. He overcame that test. And something else that I've been hearing a lot lately, and we know these things. We've heard these things before, right? But sometimes it takes hearing things like a certain amount of times in order for it to really, resonate with you and speak to you a certain way. And it's how the devil does not have any ideas. He is not a genius. He is not some scholar. He is not this mathematician. He's not a scientist. He doesn't have these ideas. He doesn't come up with ideas. He doesn't have the brain capacity to come up with these ideas. He doesn't have the brain capacity to come up with things to attack you with. We give him ideas. The things that we think and the things that we say, we give him ideas to attack us with. So when we focus and we operate in doubt and we operate in fear, whatever it is that we are fearful of, whatever it is that we are doubting, those are the things that the devil is going to use to attack you with, because he does not know how to attack you. We are so covered and shielded and protected by God that the devil cannot touch us. He cannot attack us because he doesn't even know where to start. He doesn't have the brain capacity to attack us. However, we give him ideas. We give him ideas with how to attack us, how to come at us, how to break us down, how to distract us from our purpose, how to distract us from our dreams, how to distract us from our goals, how to distract us from the visions that God gave us. And so remember, I have said once before, and for those of you who have not heard me say this, I will say it again. I've said once before that I'm focusing on this year being a year of walking in our purpose, walking in our calling, focusing on achieving our dreams, and not that, but focusing on achieving the visions that God gave us. That's what's important, right? To me, that's what I'm feeling deep in my spirit, is for us to focus on our visions, the visions that God gave us, because God's given us different things. He's planting little seeds and telling us all these different things to do, how to do it, when to do it, but we're not listening, or we're listening, or we're hearing but not listening, or we're listening and retaining the information but sitting on it. So God's given you that business idea. God's given you that book to write. He's given you that podcast to start. He's given you that song to write and that song to sing. He's given you the ability to produce. He's given you the ability to be an engineer. He's given you the ability to work in the medical field. He's given you the ability to do different things. But what are you doing? You're sitting on it. So God has painted the picture in your mind. So as you sleep and you dream these things, or as you're awake and you see these things, you're thinking, oh, daydream. Oh, it's a regular dream. No, God is planting a seed. God is planting a seed inside of you that we are not able to understand. No, let me not say it like that. God is planting a seed inside of us, right? But because we're so blinded by seeing things on the surface, we don't see God behind it. We don't see that God is not just giving you a dream, but he's planting a seed. He's planting a seed that's saying, look, this is what I want you to do. So remember earlier I mentioned how the Bible tells us that our gifts will make room for us, right? And then again, we can read in Jeremiah 29:11 where God tells us that he knows the plans he has for us. And he doesn't say for us, but he says for you. So you have to personalize that when you read that verse. So he says, for I know the plans I have for you. And then not only that, but he goes further to say plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Now that is what I want to stress on. God is saying that he knows the plans he has for us. Plans to give us a future. A future. And so when you get these business ideas, what does a good business idea do? Once you actually achieve the idea, you get up and you put it together and you start the business and it's going and it begins to provide for you. What does that do? It sets you up for your future. It sets you up for a successful future. It sets you up to be in a place where you're good. You're good to go. You're in a set position. You're in a good position where you're not in lack and you're not in need. You have what you need. And so God already told us in his word that he knows the plans he has for us, which means that he knows that the ideas that he gives you is for you. So yes, maybe he told you to start a clothing line and you're thinking, well, so-and-so has a clothing line. So-and-so over here has a clothing line. So-and-so over there has a clothing line. That's fine. And that works for them. But what about you? So yes, God may have given Sally a clothing line idea. And he may have given Bob a clothing line idea. And he may have given Tanya a clothing line idea. However, what did he give you? He gave you a clothing line idea. That does not mean that your clothing line is going to prevent Sally's clothing line, or it's going to prevent Bob's clothing line, or it's going to prevent Tanya's clothing line. Because God has given you the idea, that means that he already knows, he already planned that it's going to work for you. He already knows that the idea that he gave you is going to succeed because he already knows the plan. We don't know the plan. We don't know what God has in mind. We don't know what God has in store. We cannot begin to establish, to think of, to comprehend what God has planned for our life. And every time we think we understand and we know exactly what God is doing, we don't know nothing. And he'll prove that to us every single time. He'll humble us every single time. And that's what I love about God, that he is in the humbling business, that when we think that we can one up him or that we can, get one step ahead of him, God's in the business of humbling us to show us, look, you don't know what I have planned for you. You don't know what I have ordained for you. You don't know what I have set out and set apart for you. You don't know my plan. You don't know my plan. And all I ask from you is to trust me. All I ask from you is to put your faith in me and to allow me the room to work. If I gave you the idea, go forth and do it. If I told you to do something, go forth and do it, because I know the plan. So think of it like this, right? So you have a business plan. And in that business plan, you know exactly where you're getting the finances to run the business, to operate the business. You know where the money for the business is going to go. You know what the business plan is. So what the idea is, whether it's going to be clothes, whether it's going to be shoes, whether it's going to be accessories, whatever it is, you know the business. And you have the plan and you have it detailed out in a way that is very specific, right? So you know exactly the direction and the path that you're going to go, right? You know the plan, it's your business. Now you have employees who work for you, or people who are connected to you. You have family and you have friends. Do they know the plan? No. But you go to them and you say, look, I need your help, or I need this, I need that, I need the third from you. And all that is required from them, your employees, your friends, your family who are helping you with this plan, is to trust the plan. It's to put faith in you, where they just know that, okay, you have the business plan. All you need from me is to show up, and I'm going to show up. All you need from me is to show up and do whatever you're asking me to do, and I'm going to show up and do what you're asking me to do. So you trust the plan. So you have the business, and the people connected to you now are expected to trust the plan that you have. Now, it's the same way with the plans that God has for us. He's expecting us to just show up, trust him, have faith in him, and do what he's telling us to do. So when it comes to fulfilling your dreams, doing the things that you're dreaming about, and walking in your purpose and walking in your calling and fulfilling those things, and to fulfill the visions that God gave you, the first step is to put your trust in God. To put your trust in God, put your faith in him, and allow him the room to work, and allow him the room to tell you and dictate to you what to do. God, like I said, God is in the humbling business. So he'll humble you real quick when you think you can one up him or get ahead of him. And he'll tell you, you don't know what I have planned for you. You don't know what I have in store for you, but it's okay because I'm going to teach you anyways. So when we think that we can get ahead of God, God is going to pull us back real quick and say, no, you can't get ahead of me because you don't know the plan. So all you are required to do is to trust me. Trust that I have the plan and I'm going to tell you what to do. So if we read a little bit further in our Bible, right? So we were just talking about Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future, right? So that's what that says. And then if we look even further into our Bible at Proverbs 16 verse 3, it says, commit to the Lord whatever you do and he will establish your plans. So now remember that when you align yourself with God's will and you align yourself with his word and his plan, when you align yourself, guess what happens? He will make the way. He will provide for you. He will make things happen. So God gave you the vision. God gave you the dream. God gave you the inspiration. He gave you the idea, and he gave you your purpose. He gave you your calling. And what's going to happen with that is he gave it to you. So now he's going to establish it. Now he's going to make it happen. He's going to give you the idea to establish your future. He's going to give you the idea to establish the plan. So today I want to leave you with this, to trust God and trust the plan. Trust the plan. He knows every single detail of your life and every single detail of the plan he has for your life. So he knows the vision he gave you when he gave it to you. And if you haven't gotten any yet, he knows the ones he's going to give you. He knows your dreams. He knows your purpose. And now he's just requiring you to trust him and trust his plan and to stop trying to do things on your own, but to trust him and allow him the room to work. So I want to leave you with that today. Trust God, trust the plan, understand that he already has the plan. It's already laid out and he's going to make things happen. So if he gave you the idea, he gave you the vision, he gave you the dream, he gave you your purpose and you know your purpose. Trust God, communicate with God because he's going to establish it. He's going to make things happen. He's going to pave the way. You just have to trust him and have faith in him and know that the plan that he has outweighs any plan you can come up with on your own, and to just trust him that that plan will make room for you. That plan will be established and it will come to pass. So that's what I want to leave you with today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Youth Truth Show with yours truly, Authencia Manning. Go ahead and tune in next week, Saturday at the same time right here on Omega Radio for the Youth Truth Show from 4:15 to 5 p.m. 4:15 to 5 p.m. Tune in next week, Saturday, right here on Omega Radio. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Bye-bye.
Somebody else tell them I already won. Tell them I already won. Tell them I already won. Oh, come on, tell them I already won.